This pains me, man. This hurts, but I gotta admit when I'm wrong. I gotta admit when I'm wrong. And to be completely honest, after hearing Emerson Kennedy, EK, speak on the collaboration with Caffeine, it actually makes a little bit more sense now. And I'm not as convinced that Caffeine is actually trying to step into the battle rap arena on their own. I was wrong. I was wrong. Let's talk about it. All right. So some of us got to understand where I'm coming from, right? We got to understand where I'm coming from, right? There was promotion that was going on. Rome is the name of the card. Headlining battle, New Jersey Twerk versus Jazz the Rapper. Hosted by Emerson Kennedy. During this promotion, at no point in this promotion, to this day, has there been any reference or any sign or anything that lets us know that URL has any involvement in this event? Wrong. Nothing. No URL watermarks, no URL presents, no URL TV presents. The only thing that did come about that is a little bit of a sign that URL does have something to do with it was a tweet that Jazz put up. She posted the card, and then she put that the battles or that the event is going to be $50 for non-URL TV app subscribers and $40 for the URL TV app subscriber. So a $10 discount if you're a part of the URLTV.tv app. That right there does tell me that, you know what? Maybe URL is partially involved in this situation. It's going on to the app. So in some way, URL ends up eating off of this event in some way, shape, or form. And that would not be the case if URL were not at all involved in the situation. So this is all this promotion that's been going on and no reference to the fact that URL is involved. No actual promoted reference that the URL is involved. So some of us start thinking, wait a second. Is the URL involved with this Rome card at all? If they are not, what the hell is going on here, right? Another thing that made us believe that this was the case was the fact that Emerson Kennedy is employed by Caffeine. Emerson Kennedy is employed by Caffeine. So that would mean that in order for Emerson Kennedy to successfully pull off this card, he would need to utilize the resources of Caffeine. This is what I was thinking. And if he has to utilize the resources of Caffeine, this has to mean that Caffeine is the one that's doing it. This has to mean that Caffeine is the one that's throwing this card. This is what the logic is and was, bro. When I was seeing this promotion, when I was seeing what was going on, when I was seeing these things, I'm like, oh boy, this is bad for URL. Because if the Caffeine decides to step into the picture, bro, Caffeine got the bag. Caffeine has battle rap knowledge now. Caffeine has leverage. Caffeine has a name in the battle rap culture right now. They actually have a name, bro. We know who Caffeine is. If Caffeine decides to start a Caffeine battle league, we're going to know who they are already. Like, oh, Caffeine's coming into the picture. Oh, they trying to get URL up out of here. Oh. So that's what we start thinking. That's what I start thinking, bro. Salute to Caps. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I don't watch Caps a lot because it's funny, but when I was first blogging and I was trying to share my videos, my bootleg, dusty videos that I was making, you know what I'm saying? When I had the high top, you know what I'm saying, fade, looking like, I don't even want to think about that, bro. This man tried to hit me up and tell me to stop sharing videos in his group. Bro, sometimes I be wondering, like, who people think they are in general to anybody else. To y'all, somebody like Caps can be all this, and that. To somebody like me, bro, I just think that shit is so funny, bro. So in my mind, I'm like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? And I never really watched Caps after that. But I checked out this interview because I'm interested in the information. I'm a man of information. I look for the information, for the details. And the reason I watched this was because Emerson Kennedy was speaking on the situation, the current situation that people like myself, people like Norbs, were talking about. The fact that Caffeine seems to be cutting out the middleman so that they can make more money and more profits. He was addressing that issue. So I decided to tap in real quick. And EK lets us know. EK lets us know. And this is what officially let me know. The URL did have to approve this, bro. I was saying that this is being done without the URL's approval and blah, 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 blah. But the URL did in fact have to approve this. EK himself said on this interview with Caps that he doesn't move around very much without the approval of URL. EK let us know that he doesn't move around much without the approval of URL, bro. He gives URL the respect of they're pretty much the reason that I'm here. Blase, blase, blah. EK lets us know that he does not move around without the approval of URL. So what does that tell us then? It tells us that the only way and the only reason that this card is even happening is because URL is allowing it to happen. It's because URL is allowing this to happen. So when I say I was wrong, I was wrong. It doesn't seem as if though this is something that the Caffeine is trying to do behind URL's back. Doesn't seem like Caffeine is trying to step into the battle rap arena or the battle rap ring in that way, like themselves, them being the face of battle rap. But it seems more like everybody kind of wins in the situation. It seems like this is beneficial for all three parties, Emerson Kennedy, Caffeine, and URL. Why? Because Emerson Kennedy doing this gets to put his brand out there and himself out there. He has a production thing that he does. He has a whole YouTube channel. He makes short videos and short movie type things and shows. So he produces. He has his own thing going on. He gets to promote himself and his brand. Caffeine gets to stream the event. So they get the pay-per-view sales that come from this event that EK wants to host and do. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to push and build his brand a little bit more. He benefits, Caffeine benefits, and the battles ultimately will end up on the URL TV.tv app. URL also benefits from the situation. So I'm not afraid to say that I was wrong. I just spoke before EK spoke and or before all the information was actually out regarding the situation. I'm not afraid to say that I was wrong. But I was wrong. If EK's not lying and all this is going on, whatever the case is, and blase, which I highly doubt that he is, because he gave URL a lot of props, a lot of respect, and them being part of the reason that he's even able to be here today, and blase, blase, blah, he's not capping. So this is just something that's being done because EK wanted to do something. He works for Caffeine, and I guess he was able to either, I don't know, pitch a business deal or a business plan or something to Caffeine and make it work, and also URL, and they agreed to it. It's going to be live streamed on Caffeine, so they get the pay-per-view bucks. Then the battles go onto the URL TV.tv app, so they get the subscriber bucks and views onto their platform, ultimately. That's what's going on there. So salute to Caps for asking those questions to EK. Salute to EK for being transparent and honest about what's going on there. But now I just have one more concern, right? Or one more question. I thought that there was no way that any battle could be blocked or anything, because I thought that Caffeine was the one that was doing the card. Pretty much Caffeine was the one that was behind it and doing it, with EK being the face. That's what I thought. Right? So in that event, URL would not be able to block battles on that type of situation because Caffeine is URL's overseer. I don't want to say boss because they're more like partners, but they're overseer. They get paid by Caffeine. Caffeine, they use and scratch each other's backs. They use and need each other. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think I thought that if that was the case, URL could do nothing to try to block any of these battles. They can't do nothing. Because what they're going to do, try and block a Caffeine card? So that what, Caffeine can then block your next card, bro? Or make it hard for you to do anything on the Caffeine platform for a little while and make it hard for you? No. But this is actually EK throwing the card. So now, is there any potential for anything to be blocked? The reason I say that, and I know I just said that EK could only do this with the URL's approval, but a matchup like Twerk versus Jazz, that honestly seems like a loss for the URL. If you ask me, a Twerk versus Jazz battle would be crazy on URL. The reason being is because if we know Twerk and Jazz were friends for a long time, they were actually friends. There's actually some history behind these two. So the fact that those two specific names are battling builds interest. It builds some kind of interest. Again, these guys have known each other for a long time. I believe Twerk got into battle rap because of Jazz. Wasn't that the case? Like Jazz was the one that put Twerk on or something like that. So this makes for a very interesting battle and storyline. I don't know if the URL knew exactly who EK planned on putting together in matchups and blah. I don't know if they did or not. But this seems like a battle that belongs almost on URL. So hopefully, and I hope, that nothing is played with when it comes to this card. I hope that nothing is toyed with. I hope that people aren't given more lucrative offers, you know what I'm saying? Or given just a completely different type of situation and blah. And I hope that this is actually authentic and organic. And the URL did approve for EK to do something like this, to push and build his brand, and will actually allow him to book a battle as big as Twerk versus Jazz. I'm hoping that that's how it goes. But I would not be surprised if that specific battle doesn't end up going down. If that specific battle doesn't end up going down, I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying the magnitude of that battle, the magnitude of the names that they are, I would not be surprised if for some odd reason this battle doesn't go down. So to recap, I was wrong about Caffeine trying to cut out the middleman, URL, you know what I'm saying? More specifically, I was wrong about the fact that I was wrong about Caffeine putting together their own card without the URL's approval. Caffeine is a business, so they're always going to be trying to find ways to cut costs and make more profit and blah. However they choose to do that is up to them. But as far as more specifically, this Caffeine trying to step into the battle rap ring without the approval of URL, I don't think that that's the case anymore. I think that this is simply a situation where each party benefits, pretty much. EK being promoted, Caffeine selling their pay-per-views, and URL ending up with the battles in their battle rap library on the urltv.tv app. So let me know what y'all think about that, man. You already know what it is. It's your boy Joe coming at you live and direct from the battle.